Sadly, we couldn't all be together face to face, and we can't be at the library right now simply because of the COVID-19 precautions. And I would have loved for us to have been able to rummage through the shelves and be able to touch the physical, the tangible book. But the resource I am about to show you, I think will be just as beneficial, and it will be able to transfer with you all the way through to the end of high school in the HISD district. So let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Here we have an OPAC system. I'm sure many of you have accessed this at least one time in your life, especially if you've grown up in the HISD area. The OPAC that we use is called Destiny. And OPAC simply just means here's all the books that we have and all the information on the books. It is a huge website filled with valuable information. And it's valuable for both you, me, your teachers, and your parents. The best part about all of this is that you have access to it with your HISD credentials. So you use your normal login. Your ID number, @online.HoustonISD.org, and then your password is your same one that you've been using, your birthday. And face-to-face kids, I did go ahead and put that on the board over there as just a reminder. So when you are going to this OPAC, I want you to take a look at some of the screenshots I put. So like I said, you'll use your regular login credentials. You'll go to the hub, and I know everyone is familiar with the hub because that's what everyone in HISD, little tater tots up to seniors, are using. You'll click that digital resources. It's normally towards the far right side. And that's going to bring you up to a brand new screen. And that screen says Clever at the top. Yes, exactly. It's where you take all of your on-track assessments. But this time you're going to scroll down a little bit farther, and you're going to go to Language Arts. So I know Dr. Cook has had you access the textbook this way, but when we go down to Language Arts, there's going to be a little icon, and it's blue with 4 arrows going every which way, and it has the word Destiny. And Destiny is that OPAC, that system that we're going to use. When you click that, it's going to open you up to a brand new page. It will have much more to it, but here's a little snippet of what the top left corner will look like. It will automatically open you up and log you in. And since we are at West Briar Middle School, we're at the very, very, very bottom of the list. In fact, about 3 up from the bottom. When you click West Briar Middle School, it will bring you to your Destiny home page. So let's talk about a few of these things. Home will bring you back to this home screen. So if you ever go too far, that's where you can head to. Here is where you'll search for any of the resources you're looking for. And search options, here in a second, we're going to talk about what you can specifically do to make sure your search is narrowed down. We have ebooks available, and as you scroll more and more, you'll see all of the resources available to you in Houston ISD. Right now on the OPAC, we are looking at just the resources for West Briar Middle School. There is a way, and I would be more than happy to get with you on this, for you to be able to get a library card with HISD. And all you have to do is use your school login credentials. Boom. And then we do something where libraries will loan us books, and we'll borrow them and send them back. At the moment, that's not really going on, again, because of our COVID-19 precautions, but it's definitely something that you should get going and ready so that when everything starts back up, you can get that loan going. Take a look at those search options and how you can narrow it down. So when you go car shopping, you don't just show up and say, I want a car. Well, obviously, you went to a specific dealership. So you're wanting a certain brand of car. So then you need to start narrowing down. Do I want this make and model, this year, this color? What features do I want? And that's kind of what we're doing when we're searching for our book. So right now, when you search, it's looking for just a keyword. It's not looking for anything quite specific. Location. This is where you can change that up, and it could be a book from any of the libraries in Houston ISD. Right now, though, and for this upcoming exercise, I just want you to focus on Westbriar. Format. Here is where it can change anything. Your ebooks, your audiobooks, your novels, your picture books, hardcover, paperback, whatever the case may be, that is what you want to click. But today, we're going to focus on a sublocation, if you so choose to use it. If you use that sublocation, it'll speed the process up. But if you're the type of person who really likes to hunt, you don't have to use it. In that sublocation, there will be a whole list of genres to choose from. And since we're focusing on historical fiction today, you guessed it, you will have the opportunity to click historical fiction. Going farther and farther down, you don't need to worry about those too much. If you accidentally add something in and you can't get it to go back, you can click that clear all fields. When you're done though, make sure that you push set options so that it saves. In a minute, you are going to log into the OPAC system yourself. You can do this at home, you can do this on a laptop, an iPad, a cell phone, and I have also brought up our technology cart if you did not have one, and that has some additional tablets in there available to you. So this scavenger hunt, there's going to be a couple different subjects. So one of the subjects is war, okay? You can't use this one, you have to find another one. But if I were to type in war, and I used that narrowing system of historical fiction, the first one that comes up is War Horse by Michael Morpurgo. Okay. You see that it has the title, the author. This is saying that it's a book as opposed to an audiobook, an ebook, or any other resource that might be available. Our call number. So for historical fiction, as you guys learned in 6th grade, those first 3 letters deal with fiction, okay? And then the last 3 letters are the first 3 letters of our author's last name. And that just helps us alphabetize it and sort it. The sublocation states the historical fiction. So even though I typed the word war in and I had it underneath that sublocation, there's always errors that occur with our computer systems, right? We can't get around that. We've seen that through all of our distance learning. So you need to make sure that when you are choosing the resource, that it is in fact a historical fiction. Does that mean I want you to immediately choose the first one you see? No, right? I want you to take a minute. You can open it up and you can read about the novel itself. In addition, it will tell you that it's available in the library right now. It will tell you when it was published, all sorts of additional information that you might want to know. I have actually pre-recorded a step-by-step process of what we just did, but in video form instead of our little snippets. Dr. Cook is going to put that in our Teams chat now so that you have access to that resource. And not only just for this class, but forever. So Dr. Cook is going to put that in the Teams chat now. So if you need help and you're a little shy to ask and you're virtual, go ahead and click that link and review over. Face-to-face kids, same with you. Even if you just want to watch it in real time, you don't have questions, but you want to make sure that you are doing it in that step-by-step process, that's totally fine. I will also have this video saved and emailed to Dr. Cook so she can load all of this up to the hub for you. Face-to-face kiddos, I'm going to give you a paper copy, and virtual students, you will have this link in the Teams chat as well. I need that first and last name again, your class period, 3, and Dr. Cook. So as Dr. Cook is coming around and passing out your hard copy, and virtual friends as long as you are setting up, let's touch base on a few couple important pieces. So you will use the OPAC Destiny. We're going to make sure that we're using the catalog system for Westbriar Middle School. That way, when we are able to go back to the library, if there's a book we have in mind, and it may be one that you find today, you'll know how to find it. Try as hard as you can, okay? Don't think that it needs to be a certain type of book other than historical fiction, but you don't have to have a specific title. There's a little wiggle room. In fact, there's a lot of wiggle room. Your answer needs to have 3 different pieces to it. The title of the book, the author or authors. Sometimes there are multiple authors, and we want to make sure that we give all of them the appropriate credit. And the call number. And remember when we saw that up on the board, that was the FIC for fiction, and then the last 3 letters were the first 3 letters of the author's last name. So let's take a look at some of the different subjects. War, but remember, you can't use war horse, that one's mine. The Holocaust, a text written by Rainbow Rowell, Abraham Lincoln, an epidemic, and a bonus if you have some extra time for Cleopatra. Okay? I'm going to give you about 10 minutes to do this. I understand that writing down the names, the authors, and the call numbers can be a little longer. So here in a minute, I will double check to see where we are on time and if we need any extra time. During this process, Dr. Cook and I are going to walk around while maintaining our social distancing to check in and see how things are going. Virtual students as well, always, please unmute your mic or raise your hand so that I can get to you and help you out. Virtual students, when you are done, go ahead and just submit that form and it will immediately go into my Google Drive. And face-to-face kids, as you start finishing up, you can go ahead and raise your hand and Dr. Cook or I will come and pick them up. Do I have any questions? Yes. No, so we're not choosing our own subjects. I gave you a couple that I want you to focus on, but does that mean that you can't log in later and go through and look on your own? Of course not, right? And when you finish this, you're also more than welcome to navigate through Destiny and see what other books are available. That was a great question.